last year, well actually the year before last, I started playing around with taking people on little walks like this during E-Town's coffee talk. E-Town might still be here. He came in earlier on from Edmonton. He's a drum and bass DJ, lovely guy, lots of energy, and yeah, I was like, well, I've got this gimbal that I bought for making 3D scans, and I've got a good phone, so why don't I just play around with IRL streaming? And then I spoke with occupational therapists and stuff about what people can actually utilise, and had seen this myself when I was doing demonstrations. Why is that not slipping over? The focus isn't quite doing what I'd expected it to do. I think the focus is a little bit soft there. Usually the full zoom out's best. There you go, that's better. Lovely looking rock. So yeah, we leave nothing but footprints here and take nothing but photographs.
Gentle Jungle says, I hope you get little active viewers on like that sometime. ITTB crazy fun on their walks. Peeping nature with the peeps. Whichever platform.
Oh, Gentle Jungle, thank you so much. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for this support. I really appreciate your words and your being here. Yeah, you're, as I said, can't say it enough. You are making a difference. See, look at that rock there, coming ashore with its forest on it. So there's a lot of kelp here on the beach. It's been washed up. And I tend to see it along this way. I think there must be a big kelp forest nearby. Then when it gets a bit stormy, like we've had pretty windy and wet conditions for the last couple of weeks, then it's going to get dislodged and stuff. Then it comes ashore like this, which people used to gather this stuff and then take it and put it on their beds, not their sleeping beds but their vegetable beds, and they would let it rot down, and it would provide lots of so plants need nitrogen, they need phosphorus, and they need potassium to grow well. NPK is they're the chemical sort of names. N for nitrogen, P for, I think it's phosphorus, and K for potassium, or it's the other way around.
NPK, yes.
And so this stuff, as it breaks down, it's going to create a lovely, what we call a soil conditioner. So you can do the same with leaves in the winter, in the autumn time. If you've got a lawn or something, you can rake the leaves up and put it all together in a kind of an area, like whatever it is. Some people do it, like make a wire bin for it and put it all in there. Other people will have like a compost area. And then what you can do is after a year or two, once it's all rotted down, mix that stuff with your soil. That makes the soil, as I say, it's like a soil improver, like conditioner for a soil conditioner. So people would do that a lot in Scotland, and particularly on remote islands and things around Scotland. The seaweed would not only be a food source, but it would be a source for growing food.
Gentle Jungle says, nice brains here. Erosh says, lovely soil conditioner.
Nice brains. Nice brains. Sounds a bit like you sound a bit like a zombie. Very nice brains. So yeah, the bottom of the kelp is really weird. And I reckon they could probably make something out of this as well. See, it's all knobbly.
Gentle Jungle says, the happener.
I reckon you could dry that and then use it as a brush, maybe to brush your horse with or something like that. You know, like have you ever seen a brush for a mane or something? I reckon things like that were used. There's a type of fungus, a bracket fungus called maize gill. So under fungus you have gills usually. A lot of fungus have these kind of fleshy kind of flaps underneath the umbrella bit of the mushroom, the fungus. And that's where all the spores are, the reproductive part of the mushroom. Some of them have got pores, like we've got pores in our skin, and they're called polypores.
Gentle Jungle says, some of those rough leaves look like nice exfoliant scrubs.
Some of the gills they look like little maize networks. And they're called maize gills. And the maize gills, when they dry very, very hard. And apparently maize gill fungi were used to, or dried ones were used to groom horses with back in the day. Interesting, nice bit of granite. Pretty, slightly pink looking. So we're doing great for battery, and I think what we're going to do is we'll walk for a little bit longer. We'll go and see the estuary that I talked about, the bottom of the river, and we'll walk back, and then we'll go down to that end of the beach where you might see a white marquee that's been erected for the festival, and we're going to go and explore that and find out. People do go swimming, yeah. There's a sea dipping club here. The Wild Sea Swimmers or something like that. A lot of people do go in the sea on days like this. And it is cold. It's not warm. I think this year the sea has been quite cold. It's usually a little bit later on in the summer. Still quite early yet, just the beginning of June. Wait till July and August, and then particularly on more still days, when I don't know why, but like when it's wavy like this, it seems to be colder. There's another bit of random sea chicken. What is that?
Gentle Jungle says, cold therapy.
That's weird. It's just like a bit of a jellyfish or something. That's really strange. So over on the east coast, where I'm from in Edinburgh, there's the sea as well. And I just got reports yesterday that there are orca whales in the Firth of Forth, which is the estuary of the River Forth where it meets the North Sea, which is basically where Edinburgh is. And lots of people have got some great footage of orcas, particularly at a place called St Abb's Head, which is near Eyemouth.
CaptainEdith says, oh, nice.
Have you ever seen the is it Thor? I think it's Thor, the Marvel films. There's a place called Asgard that they are in, or they go to, or whatever. So Asgard is filmed at St Abb's Head, a place called Eyemouth as well. And so I saw footage yesterday of the Rangers at St Abb's Head, and I think it was a male and a female and a calf who were hunting for seals. And, we also get humpback whales on basically the whales come on like a kind of migratory route, and technically we should get whales here as well, and dolphins and all that sort of thing. I've seen dolphins further up the water there, up that way, and porpoises. Never seen a whale yet this side. I've been told by somebody that I hold in great esteem, a guy who runs the local Blue Health hub, called Chris. See, we met him on stream once when I was going for a walk. He was going for a little walk. It's lovely to see him. And he was saying that while he's out on his paddleboard in this bay here, he has often come across basking sharks as well. So yeah, it's all here. I've also been told that 2 years ago, the one night there was what do you call it? Bioluminescent plankton. So the sea was all blue and people were walking through it, and it was like, I'd really love to see that. So yeah, little special area here in southwest Scotland. It's like, yeah, so much going on here. Really. It's cool. As well as being here on these streams, I'm also taking people out to like deeper into the biosphere. So
Gentle Jungle says, bioluminescent stream sometime PL set.
yeah, Gentle Jungle. I did it again. I did it that morning, all morning, didn't I? Gentle Jungle joined me very early in the morning. It was about 6 o'clock, wasn't it? And we went wandering around and looking at stuff further and deeper into the biosphere. And we're listening to warblers in the trees, and listening to cuckoos and stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to work out where all the signal patches are, good areas for signal. Some nice looking waves here.
If I was out in that sea and see a good basking shark, I know they are harmless.
I know, but they're so big, aren't they, basking sharks? I've only ever seen a basking shark once, and it was on the Isle of Mull in a place called Tobermory. And I was with my mum and someone else. I was quite young at the time, and I was like, what's that big fin sticking out of the water? And then they were like, oh my god. And then we watched it for quite a long time and then found out that it was a basking shark. Oh, there's a heron up ahead, flying off. Probably can't see it. Oh, 2 of them. So yeah, I'm 3 of them. 4 of, no, 3 of them. And a big gull. Amazing. That's so nice. So last year, probably about this time last year, I was driving home from the dentist in Ayr, and I was at a place called Maybole, just up the road, about 45 minutes, less than that, maybe half an hour from here. And there's a new bypass being built at Maybole, and there's a kind of an area where there's like, I don't know if it's like suds ponds or whatever, but there's some wet ground there. Anyway, I was driving, just pulled off the roundabout, and I looked across the other side of the road, because what it looked to me like, it looked like there was like somebody's bumper had come off and was lying in the road. It looked like a bit of big bit of plastic. The way it was sort of all angular and stuff. Anyway, as I drove kind of past it, it looked me, it was like our eyes locked. And it said, help me, really, really loud. And I was like, shit. And I looked ahead and there was a truck coming. It was just clearly a truck on the other, but they were not going to stop. So I basically was like, what am I going to do? This is a dual carriageway. I really shouldn't do this. But I knew I had a blanket in the back of the car. So if I could just scoop it up in time, and it might not die a horrendous death on the road. It might just die with me. Anyway, so I put my hazards on, pulled into the side, literally stood in the opposite lane so the traffic couldn't get past me, and I walked in front of this truck and this huge queue of traffic beside me, not letting it pass me until I got to the heron. And then I was like, shit, you've got a really big massive beak. I was like, don't you dare stab me with that. And it kind of looked at me, and I was just like, I'm here to help you.
Gentle Jungle
and I wrapped it up in the blanket.
You're an angel.
and I took it,
rarely above and beyond a good human,
and I put
the way
it in
humans
the,
should naturally be.
I put it in the footwell of my passenger seat, and I thought, this is not going to be good, because if it comes around, they've got like a 2 or 3 meter wingspan, these things. They're massive wingspans. And I thought, this, it's going to be problematic for us. So I bundled it into the back of my van, just wrapped up in the blanket, and I just thought, right, you're either going to die or you're going to be okay.
CaptainEdith says, welcome inside the jungle by Uncle, thank you for the raid.
So I thought I would basically eat it if it died. I thought, if it dies, then I'll at least give it a good send-off sort of thing. And I started thinking, I wonder how you cook heron. Anyway, I went to the vet and said to the vet, are you likely to be able to help this heron? And he was like, oh, well, go and get it then, put it in this box and I'll check it out. When I opened the back door of the van, there was this heron standing in the van looking at me like, what are you doing? So I was like, right, okay, you're all right, actually. You've just been like maybe stunned or something like that. There was a bit of blood in the blanket and stuff, and I wondered maybe whether it had a dodgy leg or wing.
CaptainEdith says, OMG, that's amazing.
I gave it some space. I drove it to a nice spot up there on the hill where those trees are, and spent a bit of time with it, trying to coax it out of the van. It didn't do that. It shat all over my van, all over my stuff, and I was like, oh, you just come on, try to help you.
The bunker says, I've lost a bird with a long neck. Can anyone help?
And anyway, eventually it decided it was going to fly away, and it did. It just flew away up into the sky, and it clearly spotted the river and everything like that, and you just saw it going down, and I just thought, amazing, you're going to be all right now. And so now when I'm like, I wonder if it stayed here, I wonder if it met another heron and it's maybe had more herons or something like that. So there's my heron saving story. Take care of nature, guys. If you're driving, look out for nature. It's their planet too. So I believe we've just been raided by somebody. The jungle bunker. Did you raid me, sir? Who's come in with the raid? I heard something. The jungle bunker. You little dancer. In you come, Bunksy. Welcome, brother.
The jungle bunker says, yes indeed.
Welcome, brother.
Amias says, be careful with herons, they can be
Amias is here. Hiya,
Amias
Amias.
says, heron heretic hurting other herons, how dare he?
Amias, we were talking about you yesterday. It's you that lives on the houseboat, isn't it? I can't remember where we're talking about that, but we're talking about you somewhere. Cool houseboat. Oh, so yeah, look at this. This, guys. This has changed. All this area we're in now, right, this is the estuary, and so you can see that the flow of the sea is pushing up all this rock all the time, and you can see how if I just do this, it just literally was just falling away there naturally. You see it's very, very, see it's falling away all the time. It's falling away here. Just me walking here is enough for it to fall away, because it's literally just been put here by the tide. As the tide's gone out, the river has taken over and has created its channel to go out. So this is why this area is a triple SI, a site of special scientific interest. Let's get ourselves across this channel. So yeah, there's this little pool that's formed here. All this bit here that we're standing on right now was covered up with sea just a couple of hours ago. And you can see it's just slides down. Whee! And then just going to take a step. Woo. This is a little island. Wow, look at that! That is the most impressive hagstone. Check it out. That is a badass hagstone. Apparently these are lucky or something like that, hagstones. Look at that. Incredible. Isn't that cool? See all the little stones inside the holes. And what happens is the stones get washed around and then they make the holes bigger and stuff. And that happens in riverbeds as well. If you ever look at a dry riverbed and you see big holes going down into, basically what's happened is a small hole has happened, and then one of these, some stones like the stones here, they get in the hole and they go round and round and round and round, and gradually over time they bore them. So we walked across this river a few weeks ago. We waded it, but we're not going to wade it today. See, it's falling away over there as well. Oh, wrong one. Landslide. So fascinating, isn't it? If you like geology, this place is geology full. Behind that rock there is Arran, the Isle of Arran. Then you can see the cliff over there. Oh, kind of in there. That's where the fulmars and stuff are. We've been over there where we saw the otters and stuff. CaptainEdith likes the little fluffy clouds above the water. Some little fluffy clouds for you, Cap. It's interesting, we're getting this two different types of sound here. This little rock here is creating this noise of a river. And then you've got the sound of the sea as well.
CaptainEdith says, beautiful.
So there's two different kind of water frequencies here. Two different rhythms. Good, isn't it? So we talked a little bit about conglomerates a minute ago. So there's a conglomerate there. See how that's got, it's a rock made of rocks. So that's pebbles that have been forced down and then heated up again, mixed with more lava. One thing you shouldn't mix that up with is concrete. You do get similar things like that mixed with concrete. So there, this is an interesting little thing here.
Amy says, you can hear different temperatures of water, although I don't think the sea has enough variation.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that before, Amos. That's quite cool. I suppose steam has got a different type of frequency, doesn't it? It's got different sound. And yeah, so this bit here is interesting because rivers take, the water takes the course of least resistance. So most of it's going down that channel there, but some of it is going over here. It's coming around.
CaptainEdith says, I wonder Wahad is swimming around in there.
And until the one that I just crossed opened up, this water would be trapped in here. And these sorts of formations can be known as oxbow lakes in rivers. Right, I'm going to do a bit of a step here. I hope you don't fall. What have we got over there? I think that is that looks like a plover. A ringed plover. P-L-O-V-E-R. P-L-O-V-E-R. A ringed plover or plover. Very common little seabird. Beautiful. It's not really seabirds, they're wading birds. It looks like a little common sandpiper just flew in behind it as well. So I'm not going to go directly over there because I don't want to scare them. So So yeah, Oxbow lakes are quite cool. So you might find that the river has meandered. Meanders are the curves, and the river's meandered, and then it's decided at some point, maybe after a flood or something, to take a different route. And then, much the same as what's happening here with the sea, the river closes up that bit that it used to flow through, and then the water that was there gets trapped. It's called an oxbow lake. Often they're curved. So this is kind of like oxbow lakes here, in a kind of rapid changes a lot here, so you can see this. I'm trying not to move around too quickly so you can get an idea. So some amazing plants I found up on those rocks up ahead there. Something called Irish squill. I'd never seen that before until I came here. Clearly it's managed to get across the sea. Whether I did that by water or by air, I'm not entirely sure. So let's walk up the river a little bit. This is such a weird thing here. I can just kind of like slide up the side of it. It's quite fun. People that came in with Jungle Bunker, thank you very much for sticking around if you have. Hope you enjoy. One of the great things about this beach is we have well tumbled wood because of all the stones and stuff. There's a guy here in the village that collects it and sells it to people online for their terrariums and things like that. People like E-Town and Funky Nicky. And look at some of these rocks, man. I'm loving these rocks. This one is very, very smooth to the touch. I'm just feeling stuff right now. I'm having a sensory experience. I'm like, I've got my very calcium. This feels like calcium, this one. Chalky feeling. Like if you had a bit of chalk and you were stroking your bit of chalk. This is what this looks like, a kind of cockle or oyster type thing. A bivalve. And this was a bit more rough. This
Captia says, you are innocent.
This is a bit more. And this is, I don't know, it feels like some form of igneous rock. It's heavy and it's dense feeling. Lovely and smooth. I may be innocent-ish. Oh, look at that.
CaptainEdith says, haha, I have the Zaza for him and telekinesis it to at Exhibit Scotland TV.
Look at that. Interesting. I think this is I don't think this is from a land mammal. I think this is from a sea mammal. This bit of backbone. That's because of these long protrusions. I don't kind of
That's
recognize
cool.
that. There could be sheep here. It could be all sorts of things. But look at its curves and stuff like that. You could probably make a cool bit of jewellery out of this.
Okay, I'll be right back.
So you wonder where certain symbols and things come from. People have developed certain symbols. Look at that. That looks like a symbol. It could be a tattoo or something. Imagine that in black. This bit being a bit longer to equal out.
Hermit Owl says, 100% not a shark.
I love you. Hermit Owl. You're smart. Yeah, it's not, because sharks are cartilaginous animals. They're not fish. So yeah, they don't have these things. Sharks don't have these things, do they? And welcome Hermit Owl. I like that name. So yeah, I like walking around and looking in the drift, in what's called the tide line, and looking at all the, you can see what the tide brings up here, and so you can see the tide actually does come over the top of this area here and meet with the river. Not always, it all sort of depends on the weather and the tide. This is like 1 step forward, 2 steps back walking on this stuff. It's a good workout as well for your ankles. Anyone have a beach like this around about you? It's interesting. Some old bit of pottery. Looks like it's got a little tree or something. Yeah, you find all sorts on the beach, don't you? There's probably fossils and all sorts of things on this beach. Part of me was like, is like, get into that, you know, and break stones open and look at what's inside them with people. And another bit of me is like, just leave them. What right have you got to go smashing up the stones? Sort of thing. It's an interesting conundrum that I have.
Captia says, I love Scotland, but without it makes it half fun.
Sometimes I just can't help myself and I take a little stone or a feather home with me. I recently heard that there's some places in the world, Hawaii for example, whereby literally if you take a pebble off the beach and stuff like that, you have weird sort of paranormal experiences. And they only stop if you put your stone back. So this, we looked earlier on, I said don't confuse conglomerate rocks with stuff with cement. This bit looks like a cement version. See the kind of difference? It's kind of very white looking. That's a bit of cement masquerading as a conglomerate. I love Scotland, but without it makes it half fun. I'm not sure if I understand that sentence. Apologies. Oh wow, this looks incredibly difficult to walk on. Well, let's go up here a bit. So what have you enjoyed today in the stream, guys? What's been your favourite bit to help me to understand what people like? Some form of jellycopter up there. Where are you? I can hear you. There you are. Is it just me, or is it all quite? Is it a bit blurry today? Has the whole stream been a little bit soft? I'm wondering, because this phone is a lot closer to me than it is usually. It might just be my eyesight.
Wolo Hat says, looks like a sea king.
Look at this. Displaying typical male mute swan display. Going quite quickly too. Ah, now I see what's happening. So there's some more swans have arrived down there. So this is a territorial display going on here. Look at the lines coming off the back of it. It's absolutely motoring along. Oh, I'm going to see off its opposition. Incredible. Swans are amazing. They're actually very chill, swans, unless you start noising them up. My experience of them anyway. Which is maybe why they're quite a positive symbol to us. We did used to eat swans quite a lot as well, back in the day. Mary, Queen of Scots, is known to eat swan and heron. This is what I found out when I was looking up. I was like, has anybody ever eaten heron? So I wasn't going to just let it, be wasted. And it's not like it was dead when I picked it up. It was alive when I picked it up. And thankfully, I didn't have to eat heron. Has anyone else here eaten roadkill before? I've eaten a bit of roadkill deer before. Somebody picked up off the road. I think the person in front of them had hit it or something, and they were like, right, I'm going to take it. So they brought it, and a whole gang of us skinned it and or butchered it, if you like. I think that's an important skill to have, basically, as a human. If you're going to eat meat, you need to know how to butcher it. You need to know the experience of that, how to prepare it. You don't need to, but it brings you closer to your human animal. Oh, that's over there. Amazing. I might actually get a wee look at them now. Can you see the birds?
Wolo Hans says, so far today I liked the finding the weird and wonderful things on the beach.
It's so amazing how they just blend in, isn't it? Can you see the bird? It's right in front of you. Incredible, isn't it? Can you see it? And if I move, it might move.
Gentle Jungle says, okay morbid but the dead bird or what's left of it and learning about foxes a bit. Loved that part for sure.
Groovy. Yeah, so the camouflage of these birds is just absolutely unreal. There's two birds right in front of us right now. I probably will only see them when I move, when they fly, if they fly. They're letting me get incredibly close to them, so I reckon they might have a nest over there. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not going too close. That is bonkers. There are birds in that, right in that screen there. So yeah, camouflage is really important, isn't it? Right, well they seem to be over there to the right, so I'm going to avoid that area. It's an important thing to consider when you are in the countryside this time of year, is ground nesting birds. So this is incredibly soft grass. This stuff here is called sea campion. So sea campion or all campion, they when they flower, once they flower, the ovary behind the flower, this bit here, it dries, and then they're not rattling yet. They're full of seeds, and then what happens is the wind blows them like this, and the seeds scatter. So it's called a pepper pot. That's the kind of idea. And there's a good This is a very special type of wasp that I've never seen before. You want to come on me? Do you want to come and crawl on me? Come on, crawl on me. This is amazing. Can you see this? This big orange thing here. It looks like a giant ant. Look at that beastie. Do you want to come and say hi? Do you want to crawl on me? No? Right, let's see if we can get you in the camera. Look at this. Look at that thing. Isn't that cool? Come on, camera. There we go. What an incredible beastie. Look at those big, massive antennae. That's definitely picking up 5G, that thing. So there's a wasp for nearly everything. The wasps are part of the kind of guardians of nature. They're predatory, they eat lots of things.
Gentle Jungle says, so pretty.
And they're often parasitic, so they lay their eggs in caterpillars and things like that, and they basically that helps them to as a food source and all that sort of thing. And then
Hermitaowl says, isn't this a parasitic wasp?
Yeah, that's it. They keep the numbers of other types of creatures down.
Yes.
They're part of the balance of nature. So they don't sting or anything like that. Not these ones, anyway.
Gentle
Black.
Jungle says, wow, gorgeous shot.
Come on. Get a bit more focus. I'm trying to stay as still as possible, and the wind is blowing around. So yeah, it's a tiny wee thing. Well, actually it's not a tiny wee thing, it's about 1 inch long. Cool, that was cool. So yeah, that was on the sea campion. One of the great things about nature is sometimes just being in one place. Like I went to look at the flower there, and then it was like, oh, there's more there. And that happens. You notice when we do fungi streams later in the year, I'll spot a fungus and then it'll just be sitting there, and then I'll be like, oh, there's more, and then there's more. So that's why sit spots are a big part of nature connection practices, where you're encouraged to just stay in one place and then just sit there and see what you can see. So this looks like thrift, but I think it's nearly
says,
finished.
hi, good morning, that was a great close-up. The wings are always so cool to see up close.
Hey Yogurt, you're welcome. I love it as well, isn't it? It's fascinating to me, all of this. So if you don't know, can you see the grass here is all kind of going in one direction? I mean, you might say that's the wind, but it's the waves, it's the water. And this is, as I said, this is a kind of the tidal area of the river. And we're just about to move into the Maca. And what's always interesting for me, as I mentioned earlier on, areas where the sea meets the land can be places where the sea deposits stuff, and if you mix a river with that as well, are they lapwings? So lapwings are a type of wader bird which were very common, but they almost seem to have disappeared. So to see a small flock of lapwings is so good right now. It's making me very happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 8 of them. Like I used to see hundreds at a time. That's amazing. Sorry, I was mid-conversation talking about deposits of stuff left by rivers and by tides. So you can see all this area here, it's all been left, all this wood and stuff, it's all been left here by the tide and also by the river. And also you get things like this, which is a type of cabbage family plant, things that come out of the fields and stuff. You get a big mishmash of stuff from further up the river as well, all kind of around the the estuary, basically. Right, just be careful here because it's very soft, and need to make sure I look out for nests as well. Oh, there's the 2 herons down there as well. Oh, amazing. So 4 flew off this way and there's 2 over here. This is good. I'm liking this. If there's herons, then there's the life to support herons. So, oh, there's a bit of rose. See, there's a bit of rose bush just starting here, along with some others. So the beep beep noise you got there, that's oyster catchers. They are the alarm calls. I was saying to Debs earlier on in her stream, learning the sounds of birds really helps you if you're doing nature watching. If you can hear me past the wind. So the alarm calls are some of the things you really want to learn about. Like, for example, we mentioned house martins earlier on, and martins. So martins have got a very particular call that they make when there's a bird of prey around. And so if you hear that noise and you look around, you might see that there's a buzzard or a hawk, or because of the herons and stuff, and potential for ground nesting birds. I'm just going to walk along the side this bit. So yeah, by learning the bird language, by learning about alarm calls and what are called social calls, you can understand, or yeah, is this bird alarmed? Is it warning the rest of the forest? Or is it warning everyone that you're there, basically, or something else is there? And that's been particularly useful for me when I've been doing wildlife photography, because basically if you learn the sound that the birds make when certain animals are around, then you can be ready to capture photographs of said animals or birds. So yeah, basically the birds are watching all the time, and all the animals and other birds know the languages of the other birds and animals. So it might not be a bird, it might be a bird first. A bird you might hear a blackbird might go tuck 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 tuck, a little kind of like, oh, I'm not sure about what's this one, and then that will alert the deer. The deer will look up, it'll see you, and then the deer will give a bark. And then once that deer bark has happened, that's it, everything knows. Rabbits, the rest of the deer. So hopefully we'll experience these things together when we're exploring, and we can try to help you to understand at least some of the bird calls. Like that's an alarm call, that's a social call, that's a come and mate with me call, or whatever. Also, we need to spend a bit of time just listening and just enjoying as well. I think what we'll do is we'll go down to the festival area, have a quick chat with them about where they're going to put me tomorrow and what time I need to get there in the morning and stuff. And then we'll go, I think, and we'll sit on the rocks or something and take in some serenity. You can't take the sky from me.
Wolo Hans says, stream running great.
Hermit owl. In fact, I've got a question for everybody here. Right. Where's the heron going? Or a heron going? What is the most useful owl in the kitchen? What is the most useful owl in the kitchen?
Im says, just enjoying the amazing view.
Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. That's what it's all about.
Hermit Owl says, tea owl.
The tea towel! Yay! Well done. This looks like a type of saxifrage. I might be wrong about this. Nah, it's not at all. It's a type of stone crop, that's what that is. Stone crop. Stone crop is, they're edible as well. They're kind of like succulents. This is incredibly brittle, it just broke off when I touched it. It's got this lovely starry flower. Yeah, stone crops are often very, as the name suggests, cropped close to the stones. This was quite long, but yeah, it's very brittle, just coming apart in my hands.
Wolo Hans says, be right back, gonna walk the doggo quickly.
Lovely star shape. Oh, jeez. Heron call. So, yeah, I was talking to the heron that I caught. I picked up off the road when it was in the van with me. I was talking to it and I was saying to it, I hope you're alright and you're okay and you're safe and all this. Clearly, as soon as I picked it up, I had it close to my chest and I was talking to it as well, saying you're safe, you're okay. You know, don't struggle, I'm helping you, and don't stab me with your beak, sort of thing. So I thought, you know, after all the talking that I did to it, saying things like, you know, it's time for you to leave the van and stuff, off you go. Maybe it would
Slytherin Granny says,
recognise, because the birds are not stupid, you know, and they live. The reason why I picked up the heron, apart from anything else, is the fact that the herons live till like 20 years of age, you know. So if you saw a child lying in the road, you wouldn't just leave it there, would you? You know, it's Hi, Slytherin Granny. Welcome in, my dear. How are you doing? Right, so what is that? I know what that is. This is a type of spurge, I think. I might be wrong, but this looks like spurge, or a type of spurge. Anybody got Google at the moment?
Slytherin Granny says, I am doing fine. Just got the internet sorted again.
Yay! So yeah, it's quite close up for you. Quite interesting, these little kind of green cups of leaves with little flowers in them. Very interesting. Again, this might be another type of stone crop actually, but it reminds me of spurge.
Hermit Owl says, I have no idea what it is.
Type in spurge, S-P-U-R-G-E, spurge. Maybe maritime spurge or something to do with the sea.
Siora says, those are pretty.
Because spurge definitely looks a bit like this, but kind of doesn't as well. So yeah, they are really pretty, aren't they? So yeah, it's every day's a school day. I'm not an expert in absolutely everything to do with nature. I have spent my life trying to understand it all. But you just...
CaptainEdith says, look like little UFOs.
They did. They did look like little UFOs. I thought they were really cool. Little cups. Flowers in cups. Like cups and saucers.
Gentle Jungle says, stone crop is definitely used for soothing inflamed skin in organic skincare.
Hey, there you go. So I've eaten biting stone crop before, known as biting stone crop because it's got a bitter, kind of peppery taste. Is that another heron? No, it is a heron. Wow, there's loads of herons here. I wonder if that's because the river's been kind of like blocked a little bit. Maybe the fish have kind of moved into this area, which makes them easier to catch for herons. It could be that it's just the right time, you know, the mice have come out, the little birds have come out, the fish, the frogs, you know, herons eat all of these things. So it's a good time of year to be a heron.
Rage in the Outdoors says, hello.
Hello.
Gentle Jungle says, what? Hawthorn is so good for hearts, what?
Hello,
Didn't
Rage
know
in
it
the Outdoors.
stinks.
Well, welcome to Southwest Scotland. Welcome to the Biosphere live streams, where we are exploring the well, it's called the Southern, well actually no it's not, it's the Galloway and Southern Ayrshire Biosphere. So, very lucky that I live down here, or rather I have crafted my luck over the years to live in a place like this. Made the choices in life to end up like this. So
Rage in the Outdoors says, I came in with a raid about 2 hours ago. I was busy, so I was lurking.
Rage, you are a ledge. Thank you so much for lurking for 2 hours and sticking around. So here's another plant. This one. Right, does anybody remember what I used the term earlier on for a furry plant? Does it begin with M?
Rage in the Outdoors says, all good.
So this is a very fluffy plant. Anyone know the name for a fluffy plant? Right, I'll give you a chance to look it up. Okay, look for what is the name. What do you call a furry leaf? What is the technical term? It begins with M, and then it ends in S. Okay, so this is mullein. And mullein can be used as an expectorant, so it can be used to help cleanse you. So if you've got a cold and stuff like that, it's good to help you cough stuff up. And I think it was possibly even smoked at one point, perhaps with colt's foot. I might be wrong there. Colt's foot was certainly smoked as an expectorant as well. Anyway, so this is mullein, another one of our quite underused, a bit like nettles, I suppose, and it's known as a medical medicinal plant, but people tend to sort of just use it as a something colourful in the garden or whatever. Rather than a medicinal. This here is a thistle. We've got different types of thistles. You see, this one has got a little cluster of flowering heads at the top, and I'm looking down it to see whether it's got any black spots on it. So there's two thistles that look a bit like that. There is marsh thistle and creeping thistle. First of all, I thought this was marsh thistle, but I might be wrong. So yeah, they will come out with a purple flower soon. Our national emblem is a spear thistle. It's a much bigger type of thistle. So I wanted to walk along this bit So I mentioned earlier on about how plants get washed up by the sea. So we've got this little area here where it's a little bit more sheltered. The sea gets up here, but only on like the winter storms sort of thing.
Rage
The sea used to come right up
I
here.
am across the water in Ireland.
You're that way, waving to you. Unfortunately, it's very difficult. I can see Ireland, but I don't think you'll be able to. It's difficult to make out. If you look over there, you might just be able to make out above the water line. There is a darker line before the sky. That is the land. But we'll see it another day when there's less haze in the sea. Sometimes it looks incredibly close, like incredibly close. So yeah, this has got some bluebells in it, lots of brambles, which is nice. Brambles, blackberries, lovely jam you can make with them. You can smell these rose flowers here. Lovely smell of roses. You tend to not find roses smelling quite like this. So I'm going to show you a wee trick with roses, these roses. Okay, so these rose petals are nice, dried, and put in a tea, made rose tea. So what you do is you just gently, very gently, just pull on the petals. And if they're not ready to come, they won't come off. But if they're ready, they will just come off, like that one did. Is that going to come off? No, not quite ready yet. No, that's ready as well. So you can go around your roses, if you've got these types of roses, which create these big rose hip things, these things here, which are also good for you. You need to make sure you don't eat any of the centre bit, which is bad for your tummy. But the actual outside is good, full of vitamin C and stuff. So yeah, these rose petals can be collected. You can just go around roses. Oh, that one came off. And you can kind of see
I love the smell of roses.
which ones. See, this one's just fallen apart now. That's it. So you can just literally collect rose petals like this. And as you see, there's quite a lot of roses here. Just collect them, put them in the sun somewhere in your bedroom or something, or in your living room where the sun gets at your conservatory or whatever, out on a bit of paper. So if there's any moisture or something that comes out, it gets soaked up. And then just stick a rose, once it's dry, stick it into a cup with some hot water to make a lovely rose tea. It smells like Turkish delight. Lovely. And if you're like me, I'll throw them into the air.
Slytherin Granny says, are these pions or regular roses? I hope pion is the name.
So these are not your regular roses that you would put in your, like roses, like a romantic rose. They're not dog rose either. Dog rose is a much more there's different types of rose. We've got climbing rose,
Peony.
dog rose, which is more like a small tree, a shrub. And then this one tends to be quite...
I meant peony.
I need to look that up for you, Slytherin Granny. I need to be accurate about what I say. I regard these as being
roses,
like common wild rose. That's the way I would...
CaptainEdith says, I don't know if you can with these ones, but you can smoke rose petals as alternative to tobacco.
Really? Oh, I think I might have seen that in... you can get alternatives.
Says, okay, common wild rose.
Is that what it is? So, yeah, the like red clover. What else? Pretty sure I've seen rose petal, and what else have I seen?
CaptainEdith says,
like,
yeah, lavender too.
like a marshmallow maybe, and various things like that. You get like smoking mixtures that you can use for an alternative to tobacco, and you can even buy these in health food shops and stuff. I think they're called NTB, the ones that you can buy in health food shops, and they're actually rolled up like cigarettes as well. Look at this. Oh wow, something smells awesome here. I don't know what it is. It's got a really nice smell. Anyway, I love these flowers. Again, this is a kind of garden escape that's come out of someone's garden and got itself there. That's one of the things we talk about quite a bit. Is this kind of space that we inhabit, which is between nature and the environments that we make for ourselves, these modern environments.
Slithering Granny says, oops, I know read that peonies aren't even roses technically. I am always googling during your streams.
Good. That's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about. Like, if you've got Google open so you can like screenshot, or if you can just, I don't know, just hit, what is that?
Little Bo Peep says, hello.
Hey Little Bo Peep, welcome. So yeah, as I said, people in the village collect wood that comes up onto the beach and they use it in their fires and stuff. There's one dude you see quite often trucking about on a little quad bike collecting stuff, and then they stack it down here to season and then take it off to their houses and share it, I suppose. I sadly have an all electricity house. It's the first ever house that I've lived in that's all electric. It looks like someone's preparing for a bonfire as well, but maybe not. Maybe they just break it down and use it for kindling. That is a strange looking blow up football. I think that's just ended up there. Funny. So yeah, we're nearly at the site of the festival now.
CaptainEdith says, free ball home.
So hopefully I'll get enough time tomorrow and Sunday to do a little bit of a tour around the festival with you guys as well. My plan was to set up the stream kind of beside my booth with all my stuff and kind of give you a passive experience. Anyway, I suppose it depends on how busy it is, how much time I have, whether I can take for a little whiz around and talk to people. I'd really like to do that though as part of the Biosphere Live streams, because it's all about the Biosphere, and a lot of businesses here that are going to come to this event are based in the Biosphere, and they have some form of artisan craft that they create. There's a lot of gin making around here, whiskey as well, and interesting food and farm produce. So yeah, 2 quite big tents this year, slightly different layout from last year. So I need to.
CaptainEdith says, could maybe try pointing the camera in a different direction when this hitting mic directly.
On the gimbal. After all this walking around, it's come loose ever so slightly. But yeah, you're right, it was a good idea. Thanks, good shout for when I'm talking with people to face me. Hiya.
Right.
Hey up.
Here he is, the man with the backpack and the camera.
Yes. I'm looking forward to find out information about where I might be tomorrow.
What, you got a table or what?
I do for 2 days.
have a wander around in there and see if you can see a label.
Oh, there might be a label.
Yeah, they've labelled all
Oh.
the I don't think it'll be There'll be in there. There'll be one, I don't know which one it is.
Okay.
There is a plan around, but just go and wander around the tables.
Sure.
You'll
Do you
find
want to
it.
say hello?
Eh?
Do you want to say hello?
Yeah, hello.
This is one of our festival team here, who is very active here at the festival, looking after everybody and making sure it's all ship shape. Lovely people here in this
Captain
village.
Edith says, hello. Hermit Owl says, hello sir.
So you'll see them all tomorrow, hard at work, doing
Slytherin
their
Granny
thing.
says, hello. Nice
Hard
to
at
meet
work.
you.
I don't know about hard at work.
So people all over the world here, America, Europe,
Lilba Peep says, waves.
Australia, all sorts of things.
Oh yeah, quite a few you got on there. Yeah, hi guys.
One or two. So yeah, you should start a Twitch channel
No, I shouldn't. No.
with all your gaming
I'm
stuff.
too old for that stuff now.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not really.
Well, it's nice to see you active here. Anyway,
Yeah,
let's
thank
see
you.
if we can find you a table.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
No such thing as too old.
No such thing as too old. What Lil Boo Peep says.
There is when you're knackered. Right, let's see what we got. Might be a window. No, it'll probably be in the shade.
I thought somebody might put me in a
Gentle
corner
Jungle
somewhere.
says,
What is
agreed.
it you've named it?
Well, Exhibit Scotland, is it? Okay, guys, we have got an amazing spot actually, because from here we can do our VR stuff in the space, but we can also get a wee look at everything else that's going on. All right, thank you everyone, and we'll see you in the morning. So yeah, really lucky to live in a good village with good people.
Captain
And,
Edith says, they have their own resident DJ.
it's got a they do, but they haven't quite worked that out yet. But yeah, I've got a sound system, and I'd really love to put on reggae nights here, reggae on the beach sort of thing, something a bit like this, you know, like where we are now, you know, like, you know, marquee there, big reggae, daytime reggae, food, dub and grub vibe. I'd love that, it'd be great. And Chris from Adventure Carrot, he'd be with that
Captain
as well.
Edith says, oh, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, nothing too heavy, you know, nothing, probably maybe the odd jungle tune, not too much heavy tunes, you know, but, you know, reggae, dub and a bit of ska. And
Gentle Jungle says, awesome.
I'd love to do that, it'd be super. We'll get there. It's difficult coming into a new village and being like me, basically. Down on the beach again, you can hear it. Take you down onto the rocks. Make sure that I can definitely get back as the tide's coming in. And we're going to sit. Actually, I've got some lunch in my bag. Completely forgot about that. I've been looking into rock pools with people like this, and we found hermit crabs and starfish and other things, which has been really cool. And I want to come down with the UV lights and put the UV lights into the rock pools. So sometime when the tide is out at night, we're going to come down and look at what glows in the rock pools, and also just normal torch as well, because stuff comes out more at night. And I've lost my train of thought. I was going to say something else. Right, I think we'll be alright here, I think. I've got a weird, this is a bit of a strange contraption, this.
Lilba Peep says, what an amazing idea with the night UV in the pool.
Which way do you want to look, guys? They've got two options. You've got that option, option 1, or this option, option 2.
Lil Peep says,
Like
2.
everyone likes
Gentle
2.
Jungle says, 2.
Is it less
Captain
windy?
Edith
Okay.
says, second option is less windy.
Okay, right. So what I'm going to do then is let's go forwards a little bit onto these rocks, and I'll try and put you behind the rocks so you get a little bit less wind. Yeah, I need to find out. Whew, this is quite a big gap here. It's quite a big drop. Yeah, I need to find my wind muff. That's what I need to find the wind muff. Oh wow, fish in the rock pool here.
Captain Edith says, watch out for cheeky rogue waves.
Let's fiddle with this fish. See what type of fish it is. I think it's a blenny. It's actually very difficult to get to. Right. Difficult. Without shadowing everything. Nah, I can't do this because I can't. Or maybe I can. Let's see. Alright, it's underneath this weed here.
You got this.
So as I move the weed, you might see it wriggling out. Wow, it's quick. Yeah, it's gone further up the pool. They're so fast. So yeah, we will do more rock pooling basically. I feel like the rock pools have come to life now. We came down one day and it just didn't seem to be anything, but yeah, it feels like everything's started to come back now. Oh, don't fall in the water, Andy. Right. So, is this going to work? Can I set you up? What I'm trying to do is use the rock in the same way as I would normally use my shoulder, and then lock it. Use the lock from the shoulder mount to kind of lock you in place. You're good there. Yeah, I think you are good there. The angle isn't great though, is it? It's not bad though. Happy days. Right, you stay there and don't move. And we can have a sandwich together.
Captain Edith says, food.
So after all that chat from me for the last couple of hours, now we're going to have a bit of just calm and silence. You're going to hear the sound of me eating a sandwich and drinking fizzy drinks. And the rest of it is for your seaside ASMR. Listen to the waves as they hit against the rocks as the tide comes in. On this lovely Friday afternoon, beginning of June.
Sniffering Granny says, enjoy.
Thank you, and yes, I will look out for rogue waves. Put it this way, if my feet get wet, I'll move. cormorant flying past. Wow, loads of flies have just arrived. Open your sandwich and flies appear. Crazy. Imagine that.
CaptainEdith says, nom nom nom.
Mm-hmm. It's funny they said the power's off in the village. Because earlier on today I thought to myself that I wouldn't leave something on in case the power went off. And it's not weird, it's weird to think like that. But I thought it was to do with the fact that what I heard was that I heard somebody drilling downstairs and I thought they're going to switch the power off for what they're doing, so I want to make sure my computer's not on. I don't want any surging. Oh, here we go. Somebody talked about rogue waves. There's two big waves coming in. Here's the first one arriving now. And this next, look at that one coming across the rocks. Wow. Nicely dispersed by the rocks. Zoom in a bit if you want. Flies have started to crawl on the camera. I don't think there's any actually on the camera yet, but you never know. They're quite interested in these flies. They don't seem to be interested in my food really or anything. But they are landing on me and kind of crawling about on me and stuff. And there's some mating on me as well. Come on, guys.
CaptainEdith says, they're full up on sheep carcass.
Probably. Put a little bit of bacon on the rock to see if they're interested in it. Seem to be more interested in the barnacles.
CaptainEdith says, can see them to the left below.
Can you? They're crawling all over the barnacles and then meeting in groups above the barnacles. I wonder if they're drinking out of them. There's a lot of mating going on. A lot of mating. It's like a fly orgy. Not interested in the bacon at all.
CaptainEdith says, or local fly wrestling meetup Barnacle Fight Club.
It is. Have you ever seen wasps eating sap on trees? And they literally, you see them, they've all got their heads stuck in one place. The flies are doing that, but they're doing it over like little pockets in between the barnacles. It's weird. My thinking is there might be salt crystals or something like that. Flies seem to like salt, don't they? I'm going to move you now in 3, 2, 1. Right, let's go and look at the spouting rock if we can get to it. Whew. Because I've got two hands.
CaptainEdith says, I googled barnacles are marine invertebrates, while some flies, called barnacle flies, have a unique relationship with them. Barnacle flies live, breed, and die within barnacles, with their larvae consuming the barnacle for growth. The female fly lays her eggs inside a barnacle, which the larvae then eat to fatten up. Double quote.
Interesting. Well, if that is what they are, I would very much believe it because of the way that they were interacting with the barnacles. It really looked like they were doing something like what you're describing. Mating, feeding, and, as you say, possibly even laying. Very interesting. This feels better. Last time I came out on the
says,
rocks.
Interesting.
Last time I came out on the rocks, it's super interesting. I just learned something. Thank you, Captain. So yeah, last time I was out here together with you, last time I was with you guys, I had you on a gimbal, and the fact that I had one hand kind of tied up with the camera was a bit difficult. I felt a little bit insecure doing the rock hopping because I only had one hand free, sort of thing. I'm not as confident about the gimbal, the thing that's attached, the clamp on this one, as I am the magnetic one that is on the other gimbal. Again, it's all about not jumping. I think that's the key, not to do big jumps.
CaptainEdith says, there were also birds before and you didn't want to disturb them. Not a big... I want to do all of this, I want to share nature with you, but if I go around disturbing nature, then it's not quite doing the right thing, as it is. To find that balance between disturbing it gently, because we're part of nature too, but without harassing it. I think that's kind of where I'm at. And CaptainEdith says, I like the charred looking rocks.
Oh yeah, these rock pools are currently jumping. I don't know if you can see these, but if you've ever done any rock pooling or anything like that, as you walk around looking in rock pools, holy shit, I think there's actually a decent sized fish in this pool. I just heard it splashing under my feet. Right, let's see. Yeah. You've got to really take care of doing this because you don't want to squash things either when you're lifting up the rocks. Might not be able to do this. Obviously I don't want to drop the camera in the water. No, actually this rock is fixed. That's not coming out. It's not liftable. So yeah, there's a fish in there. There's a fish in this one as well, under there. So the other thing that I've been looking into is the spouting rock ahead of us. Another thing I've been looking into is a small tank. A tank that I might have to make a custom made. So what I'm looking for is a crystal clear acrylic waterproof box. It's open at the top so you can get signal that I can slot the phone into and then put into the rock pools. So the top of it's open above the water, so you're getting signal, but you'll be actually looking through under the water. And I can definitely make one. I can definitely get one custom made, but it'll cost me close to £100 so far from what I've been looking at. And I reckon that there's another way of doing it that I've just not found yet. Because I'd really love to do that, to be able to put you in the rock pools so you can get a rock pool eye view of crabs and snails and things. So we're at the spouting rock now. 2 bits of spouting rock. The water comes in this.
CaptainEdith says some stores do those small plastic enclosures for
sucked away.
micro-goldfish. That could be a cheaper alternative, but obviously not as deep as something specifically made.
Yeah, so I was thinking the phone is 6 inches long, or is it 7? Actually, it's 7, isn't it? And yeah, it needs to be square, not round. So it's got a flat face, otherwise it'll distort. I was thinking about putting you in a coffee jar or various different things that I've got already. And I've been trying to work out how I can make you float as well. Like if I can get a little dish and then put pool noodles around it so it floats. Again, that might only work with quite big rock pools. Or like still water, maybe if we went to a freshwater scenario, a lake or something like that. Or this pool here in front of us, that would probably be big enough to float you off and attach you to a fishing line or something so you can float off and then I can bring you back. Anyway, I'm an inventive guy. I like to mess around with things, hence why today we're out playing with this shoulder mount. How has the shoulder mount been for guys? Have you enjoyed it? Has it been alright? We might get wet here, this is why I've come here. We might get a little splash. Hopefully not too big a splash, but it's definitely possible.
CaptainEdith says, yeah, it's been really good, gonna be awesome when you can find the mushroom.
Oh, there we go. Wet. Look, I'm wet. Woo! Amazing. This is fun actually. I'm at just the right distance at the moment. As the tide gets heavier, it might get me. I kind of want to go closer so you can look in, but I'm also don't want to do that. I wonder if I went around the other side.
CaptainEdith says, had a quick look on eBay, there's a waterproof pouch, that might be pretty good, lightweight too.
Oh, interesting. Well, the thing is, it needs to not be completely submerged in the water, because obviously it needs to connect with the signal. I can get a dive case, but it won't allow me to live stream under the water, obviously. So that's the kind of difficult bit. And it needs to be small enough that you can go into small rock pools. So I'm looking for something, basically about, if possible, just about the same width as the phone, depth, height, etc. So we can have it horizontally. If you've got any ideas, any of you, that'd be great. And yeah, mispurposing things that are for pets or things like that might just be the ideal thing. Right, I'm going to get closer for my sins. Woo! One more big one and then we'll head off.
CaptainEdith says, I've had a great time today at Exhibit Scotland TV. I will be learning. I have a couple of more dinner to sort and some bits to finish. Have a wonderful rest of your exploring and see you soon. Take care everyone.
There you go, this is C saying goodbye to you, Captain Edith. Thank you very much for all of your support and love. You rock. Right, we're going to go the quick way back or the long way around? The long way around looks quite difficult actually.
Captain Edith says, waves back of the waves.
I think we'll go this way, the way we came. And risk getting splashed. Woo! So much fun. Yeah, this one here, I worry about this one. It looks like the sort of thing a child could get stuck down or something. Crazy. There's places like that goose barnacles grow. Goose barnacles are not like your little barnacles that you can see all over these rocks, this white stuff. Goose barnacles are quite long. They're regarded as a bit of a delicacy in some countries. I think even this country. Very difficult to get hold of though, because they only grow in these dangerous places. Wow. Oh, it's been a great afternoon. It's 5 o'clock. Some cows before we finish. Should we go and look at the bulls? Let's go and look at the bulls. Before we round up. I want to finish up about 6 o'clock. Got preparation for tomorrow to do. Charging VR headsets, loading content, dismantling part of my studio so I can take actually they're saying they might not have power. Yeah, getting the power bank charged. Can't charge the power bank if there's no power. Okay, so yeah, there's stuff that needs done. I'm nearly ready though. So now I've seen the size of my table, got a good idea of what I need. So I've got a kind of thing to go around the front of the table so we can put things underneath it without them being seen. Just gets tied off. I've got a nice cloth that goes over the top of it, which is a tie-dye with some Celtic banding and stuff on it. And then I've got some nice dark blue kind of bits of material to go on top of that. So I think that'll look quite nice. I've got a stand with my, who I am and what I do. Big pull up, like one of them things that you pull up. And I think we're pretty much good to go. Getting the headsets loaded with the right content, that's the major thing that's going to take some time. Yeah, if we don't have power, that's going to be problematic for the whole festival. Well, not all of it, because a lot of people are just stall holders, but from the point of view of all the electrical stuff, that's going to be difficult. As I said, I've got a big power bank. I might have to volunteer that somewhere else, which is more important. We'll see. Hopefully it'll all go fine. Heron over there. I'm really liking seeing all these herons. Makes me happy. Oh, hay fever is starting to kick in a little bit. Sorry for the sniffing. And the distance vision seems to be getting better. by the end of the stream, you never know, we might be able to see Ireland properly, but if you look over now, you can clearly see Aaron.
Slytherin Granny says, back, I have to feed the cats.
Aaron in behind there. You see, that's Ailsa Craig. If you were with us when we looked at the boat with the Gaelic name, it's named after that rock there, Ailsa Craig. So yeah, that's the mountains on Aaron behind. And then down there, that is the Mull of Kintyre. And then, so that finishes kind of just beyond the pier there. It's weird, I suppose it's all to do with temperature, isn't it? And cloud changes depending on the temperature. And sometimes it's quite hazy in the day and then it seems to kind of clear up at night. Other times it's kind of clear during the day and it seems to get hazy during the night. Doesn't seem to be any like real...
Slytherin Granny says, I've got a song in mind now.
Check this out. Who does this belong to? Or did this belong to? Interesting. Last time we saw that, we found otters nearby. I mean, this is right by where the boats come in. There's one or two fishing boats, and they're lobsters. Lobsters is their key thing. So it may just be that that's a bit of, you know, something that wasn't big enough or whatever got thrown back. Hello. And then maybe just wasn't quite gonna make it and got eaten by other things. Who knows? It's all guesswork, really, and interpretation. There's a lot of histories like that, really. Guesswork and interpretation. We did a little bit of botany towards the beginning, didn't we? We had a little look at some grass and some plants. We kind of moved away from that when we came back. We were going to go back and we're going to go down that field and look more at plants, but we ended up coming to the beach. It felt like the consensus of opinion was go down to the beach, Andy. So here we are. We'll do more botany another day. The reason why I want to do botany is because botany is one of the things that I find difficult to remember myself. Particular things, particularly grasses. From a sort of surveying point of view, an environmental surveying point of view, if you know mosses and grasses are incredibly good used together for indicating not just the type of land, but the quality of the land. And actually grasses and mosses, I suppose when you get your eye in, like with fungus or whatever, probably quite easy to identify. But if you learn something one year and then you have a whole winter period where you don't see it, going back again and trying to bring that back to memory, it's difficult. So what I find happens to me is I'll see something and I'll think, oh, that looks like that, and then I'm not sure, and then I'll find something else which helps me to identify, because I'm like, well, it was one of two or three things, and now I've seen this one and I've seen that one, I know that one was definitely not that, or definitely was, or so it's a kind of process of deduction. Some of it, and others, it's time spent. You know how you know things over time. Like, I know that this is a bit of volcanic rock, and that's a bit of quartz in there. Isn't that amazing? Incredible. It's just so straight. dead chill.
Im says, Oreo rock.
An Oreo rock. Amazing. There's so much weed here. Look how much weed has been washed away. Just literally mountains of it. Tons and tons of fertilizer, basically. Incredible. Them sandflies and sand things will be having a great time.
Hermit Owl says, are there orchards in the area? Local apples, other fruits, or are they too difficult to grow?
So we do have orchards, and people usually try to grow them in a particular kind of environment. So like a south-facing spot where there's maybe even they might have a wall, or like walls around the garden or something like that, to kind of keep the warmth in, and we call these walled gardens. And sometimes people put plum trees and things against the wall, which gets the light from this, like the north wall that faces the sun into the south. There's no cows. The bulls aren't here. There's sheep. The bulls have been moved. Sadly, the bulls are in there. But they're no there now. They've been there for weeks and weeks and weeks. They've probably been taken off to some fields to spend some time with some cows, living their best lives. So orchards. It tends to be that people kind of grow their own orchards, or like, it's not like, you don't see commercial orchards very often, but a lot of people have got apple trees, and very often the apples go to waste, actually. So it's not that they're hard to grow. I think it's more that people are out the way of using them, out of the habit of utilising them, basically, making pies and jam or whatever. Certainly in the garden where I used to be an instructor, it's a walled garden, like I mentioned, and we had apple trees there, not a lot. We also had something called apple cordons. Do you know what an apple cordon is? I'll just tell you. So an apple cordon is, for those that don't know, it's a way of growing apples in tight spaces, and you kind of don't let them grow into trees. You string them up all at an angle. You make a fence with wires, and then you plant the apple tree, and then you string it at a diagonal on the wires, and it grows there, and they grow together diagonally across the whole thing, the whole cordon, and then they fruit. I can smell something that smells like a horse, but isn't a horse. What smells like a horse but isn't a horse? Oh wow, there's 3 of them. Do you know what smells like a horse but isn't a horse? that answer your question about the orchard? I hope it did.
Hermit Owl says, zebra.
Nearly. Nearly.
Slytherin Granny says, donkey.
Yay! Donkeys! Hello, donkeys! Look at that, coming straight over to say hello. I haven't been woken up by you guys at all. I kind of expect to hear you in the morning. Look at your lovely ears. Aren't you amazing? Hello. You look quite little as well. Are you a baby donkey? Hi. Hi you. Hi. You're nice. You smell good. You smell like horse. Your lovely ears. You're so lovely. Yeah, you're so lovely. Hi. Do you want me to say hello? Do you want to hello? A little stroke on the nose. How about a little stroke there? Oh, ears back. Okay, I understand what ears back means. I understand. Hey, you're gorgeous looking. Lovely. Yeah, you are. Oh, you're itchy as well, but you are all in flies. Hey. Sniffer, 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 sniffer. Sniffer, sniffer. Sniffer, sniffer. Hi. Hi, you're pretty. Lovely eyelashes. You do. You're a cutie, aren't you? You're a cutie. Sniffer, sniffer. Sniffer, sniffer. Oh, it's okay. I just need to stand up because I've got old man knees. Old man knees. Yeah. Your pal's coming to say hi now. Hello. Hello, friend. Hi. You've got ears back, so you're not sure. Not sure. You're bashful. Oh, a bit bashful. I know you stayed away a little bit longer. I like your mane. It's quite punky. Oh. It's like, these are my streamers. The centre of attention. Let's go and see this other one down here. Look at that. Oh, hiya. Oh, aren't you gorgeous? Oh, yes. I think there's mischief here as well. I think somebody's got some mischief. I think it's Mr. G just bite his ball. You bit his balls. You're definitely mischief. Aren't you? Mischief with a capital M. Look at that. Well, that was its teats. It was going for. I wonder if that's mommy and baby. Are you mommy? Was it biting you in the boob? That's a bit of a naughty baby. So I wonder if this is mum and dad and baby. That's very cute. I need to have a look at the other, the one in the background. He does look quite male, doesn't he? He's got a big neck. I'm not seeing any. I am now. Yeah, that's definitely a male. Definitely got a little male thing. This is nice. a family of donkeys. So we came for bulls and we got donkeys. That's a good trade-off. I think I prefer the donkeys, to be honest. I always wanted a mule. I'd like a mule. Mules are good. Combination between a horse and a donkey. A mule. They're sterile, sadly. But yeah, bigger than donkeys, more like horses, but with the mischief of a donkey. You enjoy it here with the rabbits. This bit here is completely overrun with rabbits, isn't it? Right, where are we going to go now? It's been nice to see you, nice to meet you. Heard a lot about you.